Hello there. My name is Liv P. Welcome to the very first episode of Thrive with Meghan and Harry. This is a pro Harry and Meghan channel. We bring you news and commentary about Harry and Meghan. First of all, what does it mean to thrive? Well, the dictionary says to thrive means to grow or develop well or vigorously. But Meghan has said, and I quote, "It's not enough to just survive something. That's not the point of life. You have to thrive. You have to feel happy." Unquote. So, Harry and Meghan celebrated their third wedding anniversary a few months ago. And I remember what a beautiful sunny day it was when they had their wedding. I woke up at like 5 in the morning with a couple billion with a B people, billion other people around the world. This was the wedding of the century in my opinion. But before we get to the wedding, let's do a little origin story on Meghan and Harry and how they continue to thrive. And so we begin at the beginning. Meghan Markle was born on August 4th, 1984. Meghan went to school at the Hollywood Little Red Schoolhouse and later the Immaculate Heart High School, which is an all-girl Catholic school. Meghan has had an impeccable education. Meghan went on to Northwestern University where she studied international relations and theater. Meghan's mom, Miss Doria Raglan, worked as a makeup artist on the set of General Hospital where she met Meghan's now estranged father. From all of my research, it's known that Meghan and her dad had a very complicated relationship as she got older. As a child, he was there for Meghan, helping to pay for school as he should. He even apparently won the lottery at some point, which did help him to pay for Meghan's school. The relationship apparently was off and on as Meghan grew up. But initially, as Meghan has said countless times, her dad was there for her and she loved her dad when she was growing up, and I'm sure she still does in some kind of way that you always love your parents. Anyways, however, as we all know, that would change over time as Thomas went on to betray his youngest child by doing all manner of crazy interviews, pretty much burning all the bridges to reconcile with his youngest daughter. The weird thing to me is Meghan is somehow blamed for this. People keep saying she should try to reconcile with her dad, but this crazy guy keeps giving interviews to people who want nothing more than to destroy her. There was a time when I had some hope, that they would reconcile. But now I am actually glad that Meghan distanced herself from her dad and other family members like the Samantha lady because, they are total nutcases at this point. Either way, I digress. Meghan was primarily raised by her beautiful African-American mother, Doria. Doria worked as a social worker and yoga instructor in recent times. Doria is amazing. This is how Harry described his now mom-in-law. And believe me, she is nothing short of spectacular. Doria has raised Meghan to love other people and to care for others. Meghan once said that she was raised with little, so she and her family decided to give a lot. I mean, can they be more spectacular than this? I don't think so. I am so impressed, with that because, not everybody is raised to think of others in that way, especially the fact that, this was a simple middle class family. Doria was a single mom, very similar to me. And trust me, even with only one kid that I have, it's not easy. No, not at all. And to still teach your child that she's lucky and there are others out there who don't have nearly as much as she has, that takes a lot of humility. So Doria definitely raised Meghan right. I hope I can be half as effective as a single mom as Doria was or is. So all Meghan's life, she was raised to volunteer her time, donate her services, and just try her hardest to be a good person. That's how her mother raised her. At the age of 12, Meghan had an amazing experience that would shape her entire life going forward. One day at school, they were doing research by watching the news and a commercial came on. It was a Procter & Gamble soap commercial. The tagline said, "Women all over the world are washing pots and pans," or something to that effect. And apparently, 2 boys in Meghan's class said, "Yeah, that's where women belong, in the kitchen." As you can guess, that did not go down well with Meghan and the values that she was raised with. And so she was so upset with that she went home and complained to her dad, of all people. He then told Meghan to write some letters. Meghan wrote to some very influential women like Gloria Allred and Hillary Clinton. And would you believe this? It worked. And the commercial was changed to "People all over the world." Meghan went on to say that experience taught her that she had a voice and that she could use that voice to create change. As Meghan grew up, she stuck to her values and ideals and was always an advocate for women and girls. She was a UN ambassador and volunteered her time to World Vision Canada years later as she was a working actress and wanted to use her platform to do good and create change. There is even a video on YouTube of her bringing awareness to the need for wells in an African country. I don't know which country it was, but it's definitely a video on YouTube. Her concern was that the young girls in that community, were forced to be late or skip school altogether because their responsibility was to walk miles to fetch water. Meghan also worked on campaigns to bring awareness to period poverty. This is when a young girl has to stay home from school because she can't afford sanitary napkins. Can you believe this? Meghan is and always has been concerned with issues that affect women and girls. That's just how it is. She has always been a feminist. Meghan met Prince Harry in the summer of 2016. It was a setup by a mutual friend of theirs. They were married on the 19th of April 2018 at Windsor Castle. It was a beautiful, beautiful sunny day. The wedding was attended by the likes of Oprah, Elton John, Idris Elba, Serena Williams, and her beautiful husband, David and Victoria Beckham. Let's just say this was the wedding of the century, like I said before. Meghan's bouquet was a beautiful, wonderful tribute to her late mother-in-law, Princess Diana. It included sweet peas, let's see, I think it was the lily of the valley and jasmine. It is said that Prince Harry lovingly handpicked Meghan's flowers. Harry made sure to include his late mother's favorite flowers as well. And I think it was, either sweet peas or lily of the valley. One of those were her favorite flowers. So, let's talk a little bit about Prince Harry. Prince Harry has been through a lot over the years. My heart aches whenever I see that video of him walking behind his mother's coffin as a 12-year-old boy. Harry has, made mistakes along the way, and I'm so proud that he has taken the time to better himself by seeking counseling and therapy. To be honest, I'm actually closer in age to his brother, William. But I've never found Wills even the least bit attractive, even when he was good looking when he was young. Yeah, Back in the day when he was like 20, you know, when he actually did have, look, you know, but now, oh my God. Anyways, I honestly always thought that Harry was very cute and sexy and just down to earth. He was hands down the only one in the royal family I've ever paid attention to. Seriously. Aside from Princess Diana, of course. So, Meghan's wedding dress was designed by Claire Waite Keller, and it's said that Meghan wanted a dress that would stand the test of time, and it did, with its boat neck collar and clean lines. Personally, though, I preferred her second dress that she wore to her reception, which was a beautiful halter neck dress designed by Stella McCartney. The dress was a bespoke lily white high neck gown made of silk crepe. Meghan also wore an aquamarine ring that belonged to her late mother-in-law, Princess Diana. Harry wore a tuxedo. He looked gorgeous and gave off a James Bond kind of vibe. So sexy. I mean, he was amazing. Harry and Meghan headed to their reception in an icy blue vintage Jaguar. If you've seen that video of them, oh my God, it's amazing. I mean, it was just gorgeous. Anyways, so in the 3+ years that the Sussexes, it's so hard to say that word. But anyways, the Sussexes have been through, I'm going to have so much trouble saying that from now on. Anyways, they've been through so many changes. They have welcomed 2 beautiful children, Archie and Lily Diana. They have moved their lives to Montecito in Santa Barbara in California and are working on so many amazing projects, including their charity foundation, Archwell. So, they've done so much. And I'm just going to list a few of the things that they have done. I'm not going to list everything because it's impossible. So, yeah, Harry and Meghan, they've signed onto the prestigious Harry Walker Agency, the one, that represents the Obamas and the Clintons. And Harry has, taken on extra jobs, including a position at Better Up. And that company, since Harry joined that company, it has tripled. It has tripled in, if it was worth, $2 billion before, now it's worth I think at least $5 to $6 billion by now. It's crazy, but it's tripled in their wealth has just tripled since Harry has been involved with them. And when we move on to Meghan, she wrote her book, The Bench, and she said it was the inspiration for the book what came from a poem that she wrote to Harry on Father's Day. And isn't it crazy? This woman, she is so multi-talented. I mean, she writes poetry. Who writes poetry? This woman, let me tell you, she can not only just write poetry, but she has amazing calligraphy background. And she actually had that as she used to do that calligraphy. She had that as her, instead of doing waitressing or whatever, she, while she was in school or doing, looking for acting jobs, she did calligraphy. And she actually did Paula Patton and her husband, oh my God, his name is escaping me, Robin Thicke. Yeah. So she did Robin Thicke and Paula Patton, their wedding posters for them, and they, it was just amazing. Yeah. So, but she has amazing handwriting, calligraphy, I should call it, and she writes poetry. Who does that? Anyways, only Meghan, of course. So, talking about her book, the haters, oh my God, they were crazy. They went crazy about her book. But the thing is, her book is a #1 selling New York Times best-selling book. So there you go. So moving on. Another thing I want to talk about when it comes to Meghan and Harry. People tend to lose their minds when it comes to Meghan and Harry for some reason. Have you ever wondered why? I kind of have, and I came to this theory. I think Harry and Meghan seem to represent a cultural shift in this world. You know, the fight between good and evil. They are very polarizing figures, or at least they are made to be polarizing. I don't think they are, but you know, there's people that try to put them in that light. But it's like they are the face of this struggle. You know, we're all going through a moment right now, and it's a very palpable time at the moment, and they seem to be kind of like in the midst of that, and the face of something. I don't know what it is, but it's like a futuristic thing that we're all going through something. But you know, we'll see. I'm on their side either way, all the way. And you know, I mean, is there another couple right now who has like channel after channel just created simply just to hate on them? And another thing that we found out is the whole Twitter scandal about the hate campaign against them. And I'm going to do a separate podcast about that because that calls for its own podcast for that situation. Like, you know, it's crazy. And the funny thing is, we've known this all along. Like any of the people who follow Meghan and Harry, you know, any of us who actually listen to Tina and Michelle, you know, from the Sussex Squad podcast, which is my favorite podcast ever. Any of us who listen to them, we know that from the beginning, that's what they've been saying the whole time. We know, and it's just not on Twitter. It's the whole internet. It's on YouTube. There's like, have you ever noticed any channel that is hating on Meghan? Watch how they grow. And there's something about that that's very, very strange. Anyways, I'm going to do a separate video on that whole Twitter expose, I guess you can call it. Anyways, moving on. Yeah, so we can be honest that, you know, they are, you know, all these channels, they're created to hate on Meghan. They're not created to hate on Harry, and you know, just that's how it goes. But isn't it weird though? Come to think of it. I mean, why would you spend hours day after day just hating on a woman you claim to hate, but obviously you actually love to hate her, which is a very different thing when you love to hate somebody. But either way, they're getting paid. But talking about that, this is actually why I started this channel. I know I'm kind of talking all over myself and not probably making sense much, but bear with me. So this channel is created to combat like some of those hate channels and the negativity out there. And I'm so tired of those hateful troll accounts who claim they hate Meghan, but day after day, all they do is talk about her, you know, her clothes, her hair, her kids, her husband, her family. Meanwhile, you know, it's been like months since anybody has seen her, but we actually have seen her, you know, maybe like a couple weeks ago because, you know, for the New York visit. But other than that, I mean, Meghan is not around. Like you don't see her a lot. But still, every day they bombard you with the videos, and it's just crazy. Anyways, it's nuts. But with this channel, I'm hoping that I can talk about all the positive things that you're doing, and things are about to change, I think. Yeah, so either way, my thoughts, or my last thoughts for the moment, are that I would like to, you know, do as much videos as I can. If I do get the support, it'll be nice. It'll be amazing if I do. I hope you guys watch the channel and you support it. And I'll try my best and be as positive and as bring you the news about them, because they're amazing people. But yeah, so this is the first episode, so we're gonna be next time will be a little more targeted, I guess. But yeah, I just want you guys to just know that I appreciate if you actually listen to this channel. And yeah, I'm just gonna bring you all the good news and a good perspective on Harry and Meghan. And yeah, all I'm gonna say is thank you so much for joining me on this very first episode, and I encourage you to like and share and subscribe to this channel. We need more positive channels about Harry and Meghan, and we are so outnumbered out there. And I also want to say something. The Sussex Squad podcast, Tina and Michelle, I am a long-time listener to their podcast. I've listened to every single podcast. And funny thing is, I am not really big on Twitter, but I do have a Twitter account. And funny thing is, I never knew about Meghan until I heard that she was marrying Harry. So that's how I found out about Meghan. And I must say, when I started to find out who she was, and I just thought she was amazing. And all the things that I said earlier, I was bowled over by everything that I found out about Meghan. And, and I live in Toronto, Canada. So I was actually surprised. I'm like, wow, she lives in the same city, or she used to live in the same city that I lived in, and I didn't even know. So she is just an amazing person. And I don't know. I can't understand why anybody would have anything bad to say about her, but we all kind of know why. And it all leads to one place, honestly speaking. But yeah, so what I was saying about the Sussex Squad podcast, Tina and Michelle, I don't know these ladies at all, but I just listen to them. I'm just a regular listener. I listen, whenever they have a podcast, and I know they used to have a podcast every week, but now I think Michelle has a lot of school, and Tina, she has sometimes she has health stuff going on, and I think they said that they have a death in their families and stuff. So this is the best time for us all to just support one another and support anybody who has a positive channel about Harry and Meghan. We need to support and push and subscribe, and we need to just back everybody up. And if there's anybody out there from the Sussex Squad who would like to contact me, just find a way, if you want to leave a message or a note, or if you want to leave a comment, I guess that's the best way. I will try to get in contact with you, because I'm not in contact with anybody from the Sussex Squad, but it would be nice if and I live in Toronto. If there's any Canadian people from the squaddies from the from the squad who are Canadian, that would be nice. And anybody who lives in Toronto, that would be even nicer. But I really like the whole, I just love this little community of the Sussex Squad, and I hopefully that you guys will listen to my podcast and help me to become better. I'm a regular person. I don't know anything about anything. All I know is that I support Meghan, and I think she is amazing. And I know she's having. I know that we all knew about this horrible smear campaign. We all knew about it from the beginning. And the funny thing is, The first time I listened to the Sussex Squad podcast with Tina and Michelle, the first time I listened to that, the podcast was already going for like 6 months, and for some reason I found that podcast. And from there, I've never missed an episode, and and funny thing is, I went back and I listened from the beginning, from the first episode. I was like, these girls are amazing. I was like, like they're amazing. Like I don't know why somebody didn't like pay them like $1 million each just to keep the podcast going, because I think they're just amazing and they're so engaging, and I just really fell in love with them, and I listen to any podcast that's positive, I support. I used to really love the Duchess Like Us podcast, and so I don't know, they haven't had a podcast in a long time, but I listen to every single one of their podcasts as well. And I also listen to V anytime she has a podcast, and I listen to oh my gosh, what is this other, oh my god, anyways, let's just say I listen to the Royal Sussex, which is the guy Baron. His channel grew so much, oh my god. And I listen to Special K. That's who I was trying to remember, Special K. I listen to her podcast whenever she has one, and so I can name them all out because I listen to all of them. Because the job, whenever I'm doing something that is kind of boring, and I usually put in the podcast and I listen to it. So that's what I do to kind of pass my time whenever it's something, I'm doing something that is monotonous. I'll pop in the podcast and listen to it. Well, when I say pop in the podcast, I don't mean pop in the podcast. I mean I press play. Okay, so I'm not popping anything in. It's not like a video when I had the old time videos. I'm not doing that, but I do enjoy listening to the podcast, and I really enjoy the guy Baron. He's pretty funny, and who else? Like there, and I listen to How Rich People Live. That lady has a nice little podcast going, and there's a couple of them that I really enjoy. So I'm so happy to just let you know I support those channels. I listen to them. I subscribe as soon as I know they're positive. That's what I do. So anyways, I think this has gone on for long enough, and I will talk to you soon. And hopefully you guys will listen to my channel and you will support it. And anything that's positive about Harry and Meghan, I'm there for it. And I also like Alicia Key Reviews. That's a nice channel as well. I always listen to her. And there's Ivy. She's really good. It's like I just listen to, and then there's Duchess of Success. I love her channel. And then there's another one too, but it's slipping my mind. But I think she has a British accent, but I can't remember the name of the podcast right now. But forgive me. But yeah, so all those channels, I've subscribed to all of them. I listen to every episode, and I just want us to, to grow. I want the Sussex community to grow, and I just, I just think, Harry and Meghan, they're amazing people, and we are on the right side of history, because believe me, in like 100 years or whatever from now, which is like, it's crazy to think about that, but yeah, 100 years or even 50 years from now, when all of us are, well, not 50, maybe 100 years from now, when we're all gone, we won't be all gone, but the older people that are my age or whatever, 100 years from now, and when Harry and Meghan, they've gone, and their kids, and their grandkids and everything, they are gonna have they're gonna like, it's gonna be just beautiful things that they're gonna say about them. They are revolutionaries, and that's what they're gonna say about those people. Because revolutionary is like the only word that I can think of to describe Harry and Meghan right now. They're revolutionaries. It's as simple as that. And that's not something that you can thrive to be, but it's something you are. And it's just who they are. They don't have to try. They don't have to pretend. They don't have to lie, cheat, steal in order to be who they are. Nobody can take away who they are. Like, for instance, when Harry was growing up, everybody loved Harry. Like, okay, even in his teenage years and stuff. Even though his brother was at some point was good, he was good looking at some point. I mean, that's not the case right now. Look at the hair and the face right now. But at some point, he was okay looking. But he lost all that. And I believe it all came from the inside. Like the way how Harry is such a good person, and he's such a fun person, and he's like seems to be the kind of guy who would be he would, at a party, he'd be like the person you want to talk to. You want to hang around him. He's like, that's who Harry is and always will be. And no matter what these people, like the Angela Levins and those people, those crazy people, no matter what those people say, Harry will always be Harry, right? He will always, and then, no, Meghan is not demasculating him, okay? And I can't believe, I don't know why they keep saying this shit about Meghan is demasculating him and blah, blah, blah. And when they had the Time magazine cover, which I'm so pissed that they didn't have it in Canada. Like, what the hell is Canada doing? Why didn't we have that Time magazine cover in Canada? It's funny. They had some silly cover with the astronauts. I mean, I love astronauts. Don't get me wrong. But they had a cover, some silly cover that nobody bought. If they had the Time magazine that they had in the States here in Canada, oh my God, it would have been like a bestseller. And the funny thing is, there was a People magazine around the same time with the other couple on it. And I went to the drugstore. I was looking to see if they actually had that Time magazine cover here. And, I was looking around, they didn't have it. But I can see big and bold in front of me, this People magazine cover with the other people. So I was like, okay. And the funny thing is, I went back the next day or a couple days after, I think it was a couple days after, to see what was going on. And the cover, the magazines were still there. It's like, I don't even think they sold one of them. I swear to God. It was the stupidest thing I've ever seen. I can guarantee you they didn't sell shit of that People magazine with them other people on it. And I don't want to call their names. You know who I'm talking about. But and didn't have the Time magazine cover with Meghan and Harry. Like, what the hell? Like, when are these people gonna learn? If you want to get magazine sales, put Meghan and Harry with a beautiful spread on your cover, and it will sell the fuck out. It's as simple as that. So yeah, because look at the Vogue. Although Meghan was not on the Vogue, but because she edited that Vogue, it sold out. But the stupid thing is, Vogue did not do the Vogue America or Vogue, Vogue America or whatever. They didn't have that didn't have her edited. So that was stupid, because I'm like, if you want to sell magazines, if you want to bring the magazine industry back, put Meghan to edit your magazine, and you'll see how it sells. Anyways, I've gone on for a long time, and usually I want to make my videos maybe like 15 to 20 minutes at the most, because I don't want to make it too long. Yeah, so hopefully you guys will listen and support. And if there's anything that I've done wrong or anything that you can suggest, please let me know. And I appreciate you. And please appreciate yourselves. And I love you. And have a great evening. Bye.